It's amazing though, once you have conversations, the grace that you're able to give individuals. And then even if you don't have the conversations, what I grew through was giving grace to individuals because you don't know what they're going through. So
Yeah.
it's just amazing to give grace to people because life happens and you don't know.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't want to share it. My mother wouldn't share stuff with me, but I'm kind of grateful she didn't. But then at the same time, I really wish she would have. I probably would have been a different individual. But you never know what people are what they're having going on in their situations or in their lives, what's happening at work, what's happening with their relationships. Just be a little gracious. You never know, somebody
Yeah.
be on life support. You never know what's happening. So just be gracious with individuals.
What's up, you beautiful beasts? I'm Katie. I'm on a mission to help humans become the best possible versions of themselves and to strive for overall health, mental health, emotional health, physical health, all of the healths, without ever having to step on a scale. I have had the privilege to talk to all kinds of different humans who've been through a plethora of experiences just being a human and existing. I believe that every single time somebody shares their story, at least one person listening will learn from it, be inspired by it, and maybe, just maybe, even change the entire direction of their life. These are the stories of humans unveiling their beautiful beast. Keep listening. This is the Unveiling the Beast podcast. And we're just going to talk about cowbell solos. That's so funny. So you said tambourine and cowbell
Listen,
and
I
drum.
will play a mean tambourine, especially if it has the head on it. Now, if it's a tambourine that has a head on it, oh, you can't tell me absolutely anything. But I definitely will go ahead and do one without the head on there. But the cowbell, that is my new thing. Like right now, I am absolutely loving that. You give me the sticks. I keep sticks in my car because I play drums too.
Nice.
So I keep sticks in my car. So you give me my good. I'm tempted to run in the other room and bring my cowbell. But you give me that, I'm a ride all on that. And I'm like, yeah, I'm in my own little world. I'm in my own little groove. And then there's only been one time that my friend has told me to come up there. And I'm like, yeah, I'm a part of the band right now.
Nice. That's so cool.
It's fun.
Um, yeah, there's been times when our bass player is also like the guy who has all the equipment. He stores it at his house and
Mhm.
he's responsible for bringing the stuff. And
Okay.
there's been a couple times when he's forgotten the cowbell that I play and I pretended I wasn't, but I was so sad. I'm like, what about my cowbell solo?
My time to shine. This is my time to shine. And you gonna take my shine. We hear your
Yeah.
little bass solos. We can't, it's the group. We need you. You the bass line in there. We need you. But you gonna take away my moment? How dare you? I'm sorry.
That's
Extra.
amazing.
I apologize. But
Yeah.
I'm sensitive because
Yeah.
that cowbell will definitely, it takes the music up another notch. Okay.
Yeah.
Hating.
Yeah.
These little musicians, I swear, they're such haters. Oh,
It's so
such haters.
funny. Like we all have our little moments, like specific little things that we do. Another thing is they go, "Okay, Katie's gonna play a little bass now."
Okay.
And so he hands me a bass that's this big, so I play a little bass.
Mercy. You said you're gonna play a little bass. That's funny.
Yeah.
Now that's funny. Oh, I might need that. Huh.
Yeah.
See if I
Laughing's my superpower.
listen. Laughing is a great medicine. You hear, like, I
Mhm.
think that is such an underrated thing right now, whereas everybody seems to be so serious. Even when I'm looking in social media and I'm looking, now I am one, I will say, I will go straight to the comments for a whole lot of stuff. And even if it's a serious conversation, if it's something meant to be comical, don't let me watch somebody and they done fail and hit themselves or something extra. I'm going straight to the comments.
Yeah.
But then even certain things, you'll watch a comedian do something and someone out of the blue just wants to come in. That's not right. And that's just so wrong. How dare you talk about, he's a comedian. She's a
Yeah.
comedian. That's kind of what they do. And it's just
Yeah.
like, it feels like people are taking things so serious lately. And it's
Yeah.
just like, it's okay. For me, when I come home, I take my bra off. Take your bra off. You're too tight. Look, let them out. I don't want to let those out. Not right now. These need to be contained. My little baby D's need to stay in here. But just let it out. And it's okay.
Yeah.
inhale, exhale, breathe. Have a little fun, and you'll be surprised. That little moment of comedy that just overtook you, or that little laugh, you're like, hey, I needed that.
Yeah.
Man, that felt good too. And then after a while, you're like, why was I so uptight? Inhale,
Yeah.
exhale, breathe, and laugh. It does
Yeah.
feel good.
Totally. And then I want to extend that and just say break rule number one, which is don't laugh at your own jokes. I say laugh at your own jokes
Listen, I'm
because
funny.
who made that rule?
Someone that wasn't funny.
Exactly. Which is
Yeah,
funny.
that's what I embrace. I am really corny. And so that's one thing for me. I know I'm corny. And so for me, because I know I'm corny, that's what makes it even kind of like funnier. But I think if I didn't realize that I was corny and I'd say something like really goofy, and it's just like, you're a weirdo, kind of like, but like, I know I am. That was corny and
Yeah.
it was meant to be corny. Laugh at it. You don't
Yeah.
laugh, you're the corny one too. But it's okay. But I embrace my inner corny. It's okay to laugh.
Yeah.
If I don't make my own self laugh, then I think I need to go do some self evaluations, okay? Because I'm funny.
Yeah. Well, my question for you would be, have you always been that way, or was there a time in your life when you did care what other people thought about
Oh,
your corniness?
oh, fun question. Ouch.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say that. I have embraced this corny. So I'm from Seattle, Washington. Yeah.
Yay. So we're the same,
West,
we're the same time zone?
well, not anymore. We
Oh,
were.
gotcha. Gotcha.
So I moved from Seattle all the way down to Florida. So now I am in East Coast.
Okay.
So, and so I'd say once I got to this side of the globe, that's when I was able to real life embrace my corny. Now, my brother, there's three of us. It was my oldest brother, the middle child, and then it's me. I'm the only girl and I'm the baby.
Mm-hmm.
But the middle child, he was always able to make my mother laugh. And he would say like some really stupid in my brain. It was stupid. Like, but why
Mm-hmm.
are you laughing at that, Mom? That wasn't funny. I was that person that was in the comments. It's not funny. So I'm like, well, if he can make her laugh, I'm gonna try it. And so I tried so hard to make if my mom laughed because she was so serious. So I'm like, if my mom's laughing, it's a good thing. So I would try so hard, and she would keep telling me, she was like, Tiffany, you're trying too hard. She was like, it's not funny. And I'm like, but it really is, Mom. It's a knee slapper. And I'm just like going in and I'm like laughing at myself. And then I don't know if like one day she really realized I was trying or I was trying too hard. I don't know what it was. She lightened up. I have no clue. But then she started laughing. And I'm like, I got you. And then she was like, you've been funny all this time. But then she just really wanted to see like how far I would go, because she was trying to push me into a realm of embracing myself and being okay with who I am. I was like, all you had to do is just say that. You didn't have to
Yeah.
force me to be that way. But then after a while, I just kind of like was like, if y'all don't like it, it's okay. I
Mm-hmm.
like it. So
Yeah.
I won't say I've always been at this moment where, hey, it's okay to embrace my corny. I grew into that. And then I just realized I'm not for everybody. Like I'm an acquired.
Yes.
So I think I'm kind of like dark chocolate. Everybody doesn't like dark chocolate. It's an acquired taste, but I mean, it's
Right.
good for you. So that's kind of how
Yeah.
like. I'm like dark chocolate. I'm good for you, but everybody doesn't like it. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
grew
And
into it.
I asked that from my own personal experience because I did like I've always been the corny joke teller, class clown person, but
Yeah.
there for a lot of my life it was I think I'm too much for people, so I'm just gonna hide in my shell,
Uh-huh.
even though I'm funny as hell.
Listen, since we've been talking, I promise you, if you see me doing this, it's your fault. So I'm
Yeah.
trying to let my eyeliner run. It's your
Yeah,
fault.
I've got my toilet paper ready for like, wiping my tears.
Well, I'm gonna use my good old Jordan T-shirt today. That's what I'm gonna have to use. So if I flash you, I'm sorry.
All
That's your
good.
peak,
I'll
y'all.
cut it
Y'all have
out.
to,
I'll edit
no, that's
it.
okay. That's their one shot. I won't have to do pay-per-view this time.
That
That's
was
what I
good.
always say. That's what I tease and say. If you see some skin and it wasn't meant to be, I'm like, oh no, you ain't gonna see no more of that. That is pay-per-view. So no, no, no.
Oh, I love it. So tell me more about you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're complete strangers. It doesn't seem like it because I feel like we've been friends for years already, just from the last 8 minutes of talking to you.
As it should. That's exactly
Yeah.
how the experience is supposed to be. I am Tiffany Rochelle, I'm the people's cheerleader. And for me, I love being that friend. I have always been teased, even before I embraced my corny, that I am definitely that individual that once we meet, you're not going to be a stranger. So no one is ever a stranger. You're not saying stranger danger when you see me. So what I do is I primarily work with women. I love to bring a smile on your face. Again, this is one of the things that we do is we take life too doggone serious. And
Yeah.
but sometimes we take life so seriously, though, it's because we have some toxins that are in our hearts. We have some situations, some anger, some bitterness, some whatever is brewing from old childhood memories or old childhood situations. And sometimes it may not even be childhood. It could have been something that may have happened. I'm going to say a teenager. It could have been something that happened even when you were in your 20s. Certain
Yeah.
things happen in life that causes us to hold on to certain things, that causes us to be a little discouraged, be a little unhappy. So what
Yeah.
I do is I try to help you to pull off that, to unveil yourself and to authentically be you. Why be somebody else when you're so doggone good at being yourself? So I try to help individuals embrace their inner self and embrace and set some goals for themselves and release the toxins for your heart. Forgive you first, and then you're able to forgive everybody else. Now, you don't have to be in their world, but just
Yeah.
accept others. So
Yeah.
that's
And unveil is the perfect word because this is the Unveiling the Beast podcast.
oh,
Because my business is Beautiful Beast Within Studios, and the logo or slogan, whatever slogan, is Unveil the Beautiful Beast Within You.
mhm.
And the
See,
beast is the person that you already are, but we've just been covered by these veils of
yeah.
protection, really,
Mhm.
if you think about it. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
And it's easy to do. Like, and sometimes,
Hmm.
like for me, I became a mom and a wife at 15. I'm not a wife anymore. I'm totally single. Hello. But I was a wife
Hey.
and a mom at 15. So for me, the inner individual or the corny individual that a lot of individuals may know now, you didn't get a chance to see that because for me, I was a preacher's wife. I was a preacher's kid. I'm a mom. And I had so many different hats. I was a sister. I was a daughter, a granddaughter, and I had to be so perfect at all
Yeah.
those different little things. And so you didn't get the opportunity to see who Tiffany really was. You got a chance to see how great of a wife I was, how great of a mom I really was. But I was a young wife, so that kind of don't count because how in the world are you going to be super great when you're 15? I'm still
Yeah.
doing stuff. And I had just started puberty really like the year before. I was a late bloomer. So
Hmm.
it was just really, but I was always being everything for everybody else. So you didn't get a chance to see who Tiffany really was. As I was starting, I started to become a wife. So you didn't get a chance to see Tiffany. And then I had to be a mom. So you still don't get a chance to see Tiffany. So here I'm also, I'm doing the PTA. So you still don't see Tiffany. Everybody is seeing different things. You get a chance to see those masks that I wore. You never got
Yeah.
an opportunity to see who I was. So for me, I didn't really realize how cool and how great I was until I decided to transition way down here. And I was like, dang, I am pretty dope. Like, I am awesome. But it took some time to see that. And there's other people around me that they saw was pretty cool. But I didn't get a chance to realize who other people saw. So it wasn't until I moved away, I'm like, man, I want to see, well, that was my prayer. It's like, God, let me see who other people see. Because they'll tell me, oh, you're really nice. You're really cool. I wish I was able to do certain things. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I didn't get it. But it wasn't until I moved away and I was able to sit with me and in some quiet. And I was like, wow, you are cool. Like, I do
Mm.
like you. Like, yeah, that
Yeah.
was a nice little mask that you had on. But some of that mask, a part of it, that is you. Like, that's cool. So I like me. And
Yeah.
I'm pretty cool. But I like everybody to discover who they are. Like you'll see a Beyonce, you'll see a Jay-Z, you see Kelly, and you're like, oh my God, they're amazing individuals. We appreciate who we see. And they're like, oh my God, but they're being themselves. I want to
Right.
appreciate who you are too. What if you're being yourself, then you're a pretty cool individual also. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's awesome. So, was there like a specific event or something that happened that caused you to take a step back and sit with yourself?
Yeah, divorce. Divorce
Mhm.
will definitely cause you to transition and really start to look at yourself. I had my son at 16, like 1 month actually after I turned 16. I had my daughter a month after I turned 17, and I had the baby boy when I turned 21. So all my milestones, I was practically like pregnant, so to speak. And then by the time we were 22, we were completely divorced. We said, we're not doing this anymore. This is just not for us. We weren't growing together, better as
Mhm.
friends, but we just weren't growing together. Like, I mean, which rightfully so. We were teenagers. He was 8,
Right.
was 15. So totally
Yeah.
understood. We're completely different. And we just
Yeah.
couldn't go together. Nevertheless, once I did that, that was just really when the light came on. Therapy needed to be had. And I found me a good coach, and I was just like, okay, I got to work through some of these things. Cause I mean, after divorce, once I got married, that was my family now. They are
Yeah.
who I knew. They're who I kind of like created. It's not a kind of like, they're who I created my little seeds. I
Yeah.
created those little individuals. And so like I'm all they knew. And then after I got the divorce and became a single mom, now it's just like that was my world. But at the same time, it felt different because now I'm not the pastor's wife no more. You guys still see me in that light, but I don't have to do those things anymore. I'm
Yeah.
still the preacher's kid, but I'm an adult now, so I'm not the kid anymore. Like, look at me for who I am. So after I seen that, and I was able to kind of like work through those, it's okay. You are still who you are. You still inhale and exhale. At that time, I was on the West Coast, so we all shopped at Safeway. We all still we're still breathing on top of the dirt. So it's okay to authentically be you. Let go of all the bitterness and let go of all the hurt and grow and become yourself. So divorce changed my entire life. I'm grateful for it. I hated it because my parents were divorced. So I really did not want divorce. I just knew I was going to be like my grandparents, and I was going to have that wonderful marriage, and I was going to celebrate 50 years. I just knew
Yeah.
that was going to happen. But that didn't happen. So I just really wanted that tight knit family. So that kind of hurt me. And I was just like, dang, I wanted to give my kids something that I didn't have. So once I
Yeah.
kind of started letting that go, I didn't want them to see, it was going to see one toxicity or the other. They was going to either see the single parent. I mean, hopefully we'll be able to co-parent, or you were going to see your parents still staying in a household and you're going to see the toxicity. So I'd rather, you don't see the two of us fighting and fussing with each other. I'd rather you see, us being separated and still loving you guys in different homes versus we say we love you, but we're just at each
Yeah.
other's head in the house. That was more important to me. So it changed me. I hated it, but I'm grateful. So it's like catch
Yeah.
22.
And then also, being the single parent toxicity,
Mhm,
you have that aspect of you're still doing personal growth and development for yourself, and your kids are watching you do that.
mhm.
So that's
That's a
big.
transition. That was
Yeah.
definitely a transition. And honest answer, um, my daughter kind of like woke me up to that. As in, she's
Mm.
the only girl also, but she's the one in the middle. So I'm the baby only girl. She is the child, the only girl in the middle. So there's only
Hmm.
one girl in each generation. It was my grandmother, my mother, myself, and then my daughter, and that's it. Everybody else is boys. And so, uh,
Joy.
joy, yeah. So, but me and her had a conversation, and we had a good heart to heart. My son actually kind of opened the way up for that, but it was just different hearing it from my daughter. Um, that she was just really realizing me and her had a real heart to heart, and she was just like, "Mom, you're not the same lady that we knew growing up." Because even though sometimes I will be yelling, and sometimes I'm like, "Go!" Like I wouldn't talk. I just wanted to yell all the time. And then after
Mm.
a while, I was just after we're sitting with therapy and after we're sitting with a coach, why am I yelling? If I'm going to yell, that's when I'm at the games with those guys, when I'm at her cheerleading,
Right.
I'm doing, those are the times to yell. But just when we're sitting in the house and just when I can talk it, do it. And then I realized it became more effective when I just started talking. So once she had that little conversation with Mom, don't yell at me. And I'm like, I'm not, I am yelling at you. Wow. And so it was just something in her tone that just kind of like, I'm sorry. And then here
Yeah.
comes waterworks, and we're like, oh my God. And but it felt great. It just felt great. And it was like an amazing feeling. And that for me was, I think, healing for the family, where we were able to like start talking to each other, and we were able just to really have conversations versus talking at one another. And we
Yeah.
realized the difference between like me talking to you and talking at you were two totally different things. And I realized I got a better response from you when I'm talking to you. Hey, MJ, can you go do something? J2, this is what I need of you. And can you do this or whatever? Now, the baby boy is just the baby boy. I didn't really have too many issues out of him, to be honest with you. Like, he was just that boy. He's like my twin. He has the masculine face, but you want to know what the baby boy looks like? You look at me, just with dreads
Oh,
and now. But for him, he always had that personality that he just kind of gets in where he fits in. And two, he didn't come in when there was toxicity in the house, so to speak.
mm,
So the two oldest ones got a chance to see that. By the
yeah.
time he was born, 4 years later, and it's a different world, kind of sort of so to
Yeah.
speak. I've also I won't say mastered, but I kind of mastered parenting. I had the swing of things. I had two older kids. So he got a different version of what the first two got. And then after my daughter, MJ, she brought that to our attention. Like, wow, how come he doesn't get yelled at? How come he doesn't? But the difference was he kind of got another version of me. So you guys kind of have to acclimate yourselves to what he gets. And we all have to see a different me, different you, as I have to see you guys as growing up, because you guys aren't the babies you are. You guys have to see me as growing up too, and I am not
Hmm.
the individual that I were. So that just took time. It took
Yeah.
healing, it took growth, and it was amazing though. Felt great.
Yeah.
Felt
That
great.
reminds me, I saw something on, I think it was Instagram, because that's where I hang out mostly on social media.
Uh-huh.
But
It's fun.
it said something like, give your mom some grace. This is her first time living too. And I was like, oh, mom, I love you.
Right. But
Yeah.
that's sometimes what's needed. Like, I kid
Yeah.
you not, it wasn't until you have these heart to hearts and you really realize, like, mom, you were that. Because my mom, I seen her as a superhero. She worked at the
Mhm.
post office and she was working all of the time. I seen my dad. Well, not really, but he was an engineer at Boeing. And so for them, they were like super workaholics, and there was like nothing that they couldn't do. Like, they were super amazing individuals. And so I'm like, oh, okay, like, you guys don't hurt. Like, mom, my husband left me. Like, oh my God, you guys broke up. Like, why are you okay? How is this? How are you functioning? Like, as far as I'm concerned, she never hurt. She never cried. She always had money. She's buying her little. So I just felt like she was a superhero and everything was fine. But then she used to let me know once I grew up some, she was like, she do hurt too. I just didn't get the
Yeah.
opportunity to see it. And I'm like, why didn't you let me see that? For me, that was important. And I probably would have been able to be a little more gracious with myself if I seen you weren't perfect also. And she was just like, well,
Yeah.
it's just the way I am. Don't be that way. I wanted to change her, but I mean, of course, it
Yeah.
didn't happen. But once we open up and see those, there was grace for her. And then I realized, wow, you're not as perfect as I thought you were, but that didn't stop me from loving her. Like, I
Right.
appreciated her even more once I realized, gee, she had hardships too. So this is amazing though, once you have conversations, the grace that you're able to give individuals. And then even if you don't have the conversations, what I grew through was giving grace to individuals because you don't know what they're going through. So
Yeah.
it's just amazing to give grace to people because life happens and you don't know.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't want to share it. My mother wouldn't share stuff with me, but I'm kind of grateful she didn't. But then at the same time, I really wish she would have. I probably would have been a different individual. But you never know what people are what they're having going on in their situations or in their lives, what's happening at work, what's happening with their relationships. Just be a little gracious. You never know, somebody
Yeah.
be on life support. You never know what's happening. So just be gracious with individuals.
Yeah. I love that you talk about that. And I've always been the person that's like, oh, I'm going to give this person the benefit of the doubt because I don't know what they're going through. And then I learned the word grace. I'm going to give this person some grace. But I think for me, the biggest challenge has been to give myself the grace.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Do you
So
give
I'm
yourself grace a lot?
a lot more now than I did before. I was very mean to myself.
Okay. Okay.
And I recently learned the concept of noticing without judging. And so
Okay.
this is just like noticing things about yourself, but without the, you do that, you're a piece of crap for doing that. It's just, oh, okay, I do this thing.
Mm-hmm.
So now what? What do I do with that? Do
Mm-hmm.
I have to do anything with it?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's been super helpful lately. And then just like, if it's something I don't like and I know where it came from,
Mm-hmm.
I can give myself the grace.
Good stuff. Do you
Yeah.
find yourself giving yourself grace more now, or do you wait until something tumultuous happens and then you're like, okay, give myself grace?
That's a good question. I feel like I give myself more grace now just because I understand human behavior a lot better.
Good stuff.
And human behavior includes me because I'm
Uh-huh.
a human.
We bleed
Um,
too, right?
yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it's just been really big. I've changed so much since like April.
Okay.
Um, and like I started allowing myself to feel my emotions rather than I stuffed my emotions for 38 years. Now I'm like, okay, I'm at capacity. I need to get this crap out. I would
Good.
say shit. I don't know if you cuss. I cuss on the show. So yeah,
Good.
I need
Have
to get
at
this
it.
shit out.
You got tissue anyway, so go ahead and wipe it if you do. Hey,
That's good.
get it out. I'm good.
Yeah. So, I mean, that alone,
Mhm.
understanding that some of my behaviors were because I was stuffing my emotions,
Yeah.
you know? And some of my health issues were because I was stuffing my emotions.
Yeah.
And so I've completely changed. I mean, I'm still like a badass, funny person
Come through.
because, that will never change.
That's
But just
good.
my
It should.
demeanor,
Mhm.
my demeanor is completely different.
That's
I'm a
good.
lot more calm.
And that's a good thing though, because I think
Yeah.
sometimes we're just so, because that was me. And I made reference to that. I was just kind of like that agitated, like, oh, hey, 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 hey. So it's like
Yeah.
good to give yourself grace and just realize it's going to be okay. I
Hmm.
don't have to be this uptight individual. But what you said really blessed me as you're saying that you allow yourself to feel. And so the emotions that we feel, those are really important for us to give ourselves the space to feel that way. And you don't
Yeah.
ever want to be like that toxic positivity individual or positive toxicity. We don't never want to have that where we're always thinking, oh, everything is going to be great. Everything is going to be cool. And that's great for you to be optimistic. And I'm not
Right.
saying don't, but if you feel angry, it's okay to be angry. Feel that moment. You don't have to stay there in it, but feel that moment. It's great for you to do that. Just feel it. I'm sad.
Yeah.
Feel it. It's okay for you to be sad. I'm
Yeah.
not to do it's okay. Feel that moment, but you don't have to stay in that moment. So that's
Yeah.
the catch. Give yourself the space to feel every emotion, but you just don't have to stay there. And you don't have to feel like everything is going to be okay. In the moment, it doesn't feel like everything is going to be okay. And it's not okay. Right
Right.
now, totally not okay. And it's okay to feel that way. Just don't stay there. Just feel like, what are we able to do to get ourselves up out of this particular situation, out of this feeling,
Yeah.
out of this mood? What can we do to shift ourselves from that? Sure, it's going to be okay, but it's okay to cry now. It is
Yeah.
okay to scream now. It's okay to be pissed right now. It's okay to be like, it's okay for you to feel that.
Yep.
Don't ever deny yourself from those feelings. So that was the best thing that you could have said for me in and out
Mm.
is feeling those feelings. Don't deny yourself those feelings, but
Awesome.
that's how you're
Yeah.
able to get over it is feel it, but then move on.
Yeah. And
Okay.
I love that you mentioned what did you call it? Toxic positivity.
Mhm. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. That's how I used to cover up my pain.
Mhm.
And
Well, yeah, it was toxic positivity. Sometimes that's the catch
yeah.
is it's okay to be positive And it is I know I'm gonna find a positive out of everything. It does not matter what happens in life. I'm gonna find some way to spin it and be positive about it. But I'm also going to go through those emotions that I'm feeling
Yeah.
whenever I'm feeling them. So I'm not going to deny myself. And that was an issue for me, is I denied myself of those feelings. And I
Mm-hmm.
can't deny myself of those feelings. I will never be able to progress and become a better individual if I deny myself whatever emotion I'm feeling in that moment.
Right.
Oh, because they can
Yeah.
definitely overtake me. They can definitely overtake anybody. It's a toxic situation, or it's a
Yeah.
toxic feeling. I guess it could be. It's like acid. You put acid on something, it's going to definitely eat away at that. And
Mm-hmm.
so if you
Yeah.
allow that acid, whatever that emotion is, to sit there and rest there, and you don't deal with it, it's going to be hurtful to not only yourself, but everybody else that you encounter, because you're not dealing with that. Have
Mm-hmm.
the moment, but let it go.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And we don't need to use that toxic positivity. I still love that. I've never heard it before. Um, yeah, like I was saying, that's how I used to cover up my pain.
mhm,
And um I was talking about, oh yeah, the post I did the other day was talking about like, let's normalize making it okay to say, I'm not okay today. I
absolutely.
need to back off, because I used to hide it with the, the smiles and laughter and all that so that other people wouldn't be uncomfortable with me having a bad day.
Mhm, mhm,
And all that does is stunt our healing. Like if we could just say, "Hey, I'm not having a good day today," then we can get closer to the healing much faster.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And then you never know, you sharing how you're feeling with somebody else, they very well could be the person, they could be the antidote to what you
Yeah.
need, or they don't realize, especially like if you're doing certain things at work and you're like, oh, I'm okay. Oh, sure. I'll take it on. Sure. Everything's cool. If you tell, listen, stop, I can't do that. They will never know that they can't keep piling stuff on you. And you'll never know, hey, I don't like you. They'll never know those things, or you won't understand certain situations because they feel like they can just give you their work. Or,
Right.
you're like, hey, I'm okay. I'm okay. No, you're not okay. Someone in your family that's close to you is getting ready to pass away, and you're sitting here acting like everything is fine. Sure, you're okay in moments, but tell somebody, hey, now's not a good time. And you may not have to share what's happening with you, but just
Mm-hmm.
share it's not a good time for you. So then that gives another person the ability to respect your space, to respect your feelings, or to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to make sure I shield you. So, hey, go into your office, close the door. Matter of fact, you know what? Take off for the rest of the day because you just need it.
Yeah.
I see it. They
Yeah.
won't know unless you open up and say something. The onus is on you for you to share with other individuals how you're feeling. Again, you don't have to tell the situation, but you can say,
Mm-hmm.
hey, now is not a good time, so that
Yeah.
we have boundaries that are set between us, so I'll know how I can govern myself according, around you.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I can be this silly super individual. Now's not a good time. All right, take my silly somewhere else. But if you don't tell me, I won't ever know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. And do that instead of when somebody says, "Are you okay?"
Mhm.
You don't just say, "Yeah, I'm okay. I'm just tired."
Right.
That was
I
my famous line. "I'm okay. I'm just really tired."
mm-mm,
No,
mm-mm.
you're not. You're hurting. Your heart hurts. Go
And it's
cry.
okay. Use the tissue that's right there.
Yeah.
There's the tissue. Use that. And it's okay. And
Yeah.
that's the catch, is we gotta normalize that it's okay with you not being okay. But the only thing that I say is grow through not being okay. Just don't stay in that I'm not okay. Because you might be
Yeah.
tired. I'm tired of hurting, but you just didn't express, what kind of tired
Yeah.
you are. I might just think you're tired initially. Oh, I'm tired. Oh, you didn't sleep well at night. That's not the tired that you're making reference to. But hey, again, you don't have to tell me, but we got to find safe people that we
Yeah.
can open up to. Everybody may not be your safe space, but we have to find safe people that is okay for me to open up. Hey, guess what? I am having a bad day today and I need to talk to somebody. You're my safe space. I need to make sure I say something to that safe person. So then when I do go in front of everybody, when they're asking me, are you okay? I am okay. thanks to you, you allowed me to talk to you. So now I can give you a genuine smile versus me having my mask smile. Hi, but I'm depressed, in the inside. We have to find those certain people that are safe for us. And if we don't have friends that are safe, find a therapist, find a coach, find somebody, but we have to find somebody that we're safe with, that we can express ourselves to, because us bottling it up inside is not beneficial for us, because that hurts our body. That hurts our blood pressure. Here our sugar starts going different ways, cholesterol. It affects our body, us holding certain situations in. So let it out. Even if find a piece of paper, write on it, get it out though.
Yeah. And I do want to distinguish that there is a difference too when you are okay and somebody asks you if you're okay. You look tired just because you don't have makeup on.
Right.
And you're like, no, this is my face.
Don't come for me because I ain't got makeup. I got my lashes on though, but don't come for me, honey. But it's okay. Like, there is a difference between it, because sometimes you do be tired. Individual real life can be tired. Sometimes I was tired. I didn't feel like putting on makeup today. I was tired. So there are some times that I'm real life tired. And then there are certain times that I'm just not okay, but that's where I'm gonna just mask it and say, and for me, I think that's where we find our comfortable people. Like, I'm not going to say anything to you. Everybody understands that I'm just tired, but then I have that one person that I explained why I'm tired to, that might help me through that moment, that I can get through my workday, that might be able to help me talk to one of my kids or talk to my spouse, that I need to be able, I don't know how to get the words out. What do I need to do? We'll find a piece of paper. That's my favorite thing to always say. If I can't talk to you and tell you how I'm feeling, I still want to share with you how I'm feeling, because I don't want you to interrupt me anyway. So I'm going to give you a piece of paper and I'm going to express, this is how I'm feeling. You know what? I didn't like when you stepped on my foot, and I told you stepped on my foot and it really hurt. I told you in the moment, but you dismissed me. That made me feel some type of way. So now I'm going to write it down so you can actually hear it. And maybe it'll fall on good ground now, because maybe in the moment when you stepped on it, I didn't step on your foot. Oh, I just thought that was a shoe that was in the middle of the way, And you're just, because you're so focused in getting somewhere. Hey, but I really want you to know that really did hurt me for real. Like, it hurt me because you dismissed me, and it hurt because you stepped on my foot. But didn't hear me in that moment. I really want to write down my feelings and at least let you know, or whatever. And then it may land in a good place. Now we can reconcile. I thought you were ignoring me. Oh, what? Now we done came to a different place, and now we're able to talk to each other. And what was a problem really isn't a problem anymore.
Yeah.
But then that could have been me talking to you, opening up. Because you were my safe space, you realize, oh, well, the tone that you said that in, they weren't able to receive it, because tone definitely matters.
Yeah.
If I tell you I love you, you're like, oh, you do love me. I love you. You didn't mean it. Same words, different tones, and now it's received differently. So if I come to you and you're my safe individual and you share it with me, well, Tiffany, you have a valid point, but the way you said it, I wouldn't have received that either. If you're telling me that, oh, hell, now I need to go back and reevaluate that. Now I can go back to my friend, family member, or whoever it was that I felt wronged me. I'm going to say, hey, I really meant what I said, but the tone that I said it in and the texture of my voice, that wasn't really comfortable. So I really want to address my tone. I apologize for whatever. And then we could just move forward. But you helped me to see, dang, but you're my safe space. So it's great to have them safe individuals that can kind of tell you you're wrong and I'm wrong. Never wrong. But if you have those safe individuals, they're special.
Yeah. And on the topic of tone, I think that's why texting sometimes is super
it could be frowned on.
It could be confusing, because like I can read a text message that, I'll read it like someone's being bitchy, and they'll be like, no, I was saying it like this. I'll be like, oh, well, shit.
I didn't receive it that way. It gets lost in translation, right? So it's like how I meant it, you didn't really receive it that way. And or either for me, I can be so sarcastic. And so when you're reading the text, you might read it in my sarcastic tone, but I'm really not even being sarcastic in that moment. I'm really being genuine. And I'm like, hey, but you're so used to me being the sarcastic individual. Nah, I need to pick up the phone or use voice memos. I'm an Apple lover. So I'll send a voice memo in a minute. So I'm going to say, hey, I want you to hear the tone in my voice. I want you to hear, you can hear, oh, she being real slick at the mouth right now. So you get a chance to hear it, like, she's making light. I get it. I have a friend that's a Cancer, and I love teasing him about being a Cancer. I'm like, oh, there you go, being emotional again. I'm being emotional. Yes, you are. Okay, there you go. But he'll hear that I'm being funny. When I text that, there you go, being emotional. Then he got into his feelings and he was just like, I'm not being emotional. And that became a whole argument. I picked up the phone and I'm like, hey, what's going on here? This is our normal banter. What's happening? But he also wasn't in the receiving mood of, he didn't feel like, going through the playful banter. That was on me. Okay, I'll take it. I apologize, friend. My bad. I didn't know what was going on with you. You didn't express it. I'm just being our normal relationship. Hey, this is what we do. But we also got to understand sometimes people just aren't in that posture, but your tone matters and texts don't always translate.
Nice.
Is that nice?
Nice. I don't know why I said that. Nice. This is nice.
Stuff like that. Like, okay.
Nice. I really don't know why I said that.
It was perfect though for me.
Yeah. Nice.
It was perfect.
Maybe I'll leave it in.
And leave it right there.
I'll leave it in.
Nice.
Nice. Nice. There we go. That's better. Nice. Sweet. No.
The other one, the original one, was so authentic.
Nice.
Oh, I need that.
I know. I think I know why I said that. I don't know why I chose that word, but I was thinking of, I was listening and I was like, how am I going to ask her next? Like, if this is all part of what you do, because you're a coach, right?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So
yes.
I'm going to pretend that none of this ever happened and be like, nice. So is this how you, is this what you do with your work and your
This is kind of how I help individuals. It depends on who it is though. Because everybody isn't for me. Because I primarily work with women. And I work with teenage mothers and divorced women. So those are primarily my target areas, of course, because I'm kind of one of those. So those are definitely my target areas. I still help everybody. But those are my target. And I won't say everybody, but there's certain people that have come to me and they just need me for the moment. And so that's something I definitely can do. For some reason, men have been gravitating lately towards me. And I don't think
they know you're single.
Pretty. I was just getting ready to say, and I don't think it's just because I'm so pretty. But it could be the start. I will say I totally can tell you 2 of them definitely did that to me. We found that out real quick.
Oh, no.
No, ma'am. So, but yes, this is primarily what I do. Sometimes my friends get a chance to benefit from it. But I don't just go volunteering advice just because I can.
Right.
It definitely depends on what your receptors are. If you're asking for it, I will. But sometimes we just need a listening ear. And I have no problem with being that listening ear for individuals. Life happens. And if I just had somebody to talk to, things would have worked out a whole lot better. So, but yes, it's what I do.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Lately I've been saying I'm trying to be the person I didn't have growing up.
Yeah. Oh, special. You just made me. Yeah. I love that.
And it starts with my mismatched socks.
Well, mine's matched today. Today they kind of matched it.
Ooh, I love it. I don't have any solid color socks.
Really?
I had a friend once. Yeah, I had a friend once say, your sock drawer looks like a circus.
Yeah. Well, no, I do have some solid socks, but they're black. So I only have solid black socks. Other than that, everything else is funky. Like,
nice.
I have to have something. See that word?
I kind of feel like we're meant to be friends.
We are. We definitely are. And it definitely started over there. No, wait. So for me, I'm pointing at, it was at the bass, cello, violin. Viola.
Cello.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cello.
Okay. Yeah. It started with that, but that's not what I wanted. I want those. Started with the guitar.
Good.
Once I see that, I was like, oh yeah, you guys are absolutely. Oh, I absolutely love it. And then I knew we were friends when you played the little bass.
Oh, I wish I had it here so I could show it to you. It's so funny.
Once you said the little bass, you had me. I was like, yeah, we're friends. I don't care what she says. She can't get rid of me. We are friends.
Sweet. Nice.
That's what I'm saying. Every time now I hear you
Nice.
say that word, I said, there that word go again.
Nice.
I think I might take that on for the rest of the day, though.
Do it.
There, just say nice. I need to tag you in there. Just say nice.
Nice.
How are you feeling today? Nice.
Nice. See, that too could also have different tones.
But
nice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Definitely can.
Nice.
You can take that so many different ways. Like
Yeah.
I could just say something to you and like nice and like, oh, that was dismissive. No, I didn't even mean it to be dismissive. That's but that goes by our receptors too. Like you didn't mean it that way, but in my emotional state that I'm in, like, oh, wait a minute. And then when we had a conversation, I realized that's not the tone that you meant that in. So
yeah,
but I was in the moment. I knew that's not what was meant.
I said something really hilarious once to a friend and she went, okay. And I heard, okay.
Right.
And
So
like,
you heard it differently.
yeah. And she's like, I wasn't being mean. I thought it was funny. But this was back when I thought I was too much for the world, which I am. But, if you don't like it.
If you don't like
there's other Instagram pages you can go to.
Totally can. And you're more than welcome to like on there, don't like on there, scroll, whatever. If you don't like it, and I think where I'm at too is if I see somebody on my feed and I don't actually like them, why am I following you? If I don't like you, I don't have many people that I don't like, by the way. So if I don't like you, that's big if I don't like you, because I don't have those individuals. I just don't like you. Like me and my sister was talking one time about or god sister rather. We were talking about a musician. I was like, I just don't like her. And I'm like, why don't I like her? So I really had to sit. I'm talking about for years. I would say I don't personally know her. Her music is beautiful. Like I absolutely love her music, but I'm just like, I don't like her. And so I had to sit with myself and I had to figure out, I ain't gonna lie to you. I went on a whole Google rant, like going to try to figure out, why do I feel like I don't like her? I have no valid reason to not like her. So I can't tell you I don't like her. That's how I fix stuff. If I can't remember what the beef was or what the argument was, or if it was something really silly and stupid, I got to get over that. So there are so many things that happened that was in high school that I had to let go. Like, for what? Like, you wore the same outfit as me. You got good taste. We both like the same shoes. So what? Like, I'm mad at you because you got those and I had them too. Yeah. You just had good taste. That's the way I have to think of it. Like, get over it. So let that go. But
yeah. I don't know why what you just said just reminded me of this, but I had a friend at school. I think I was in 9th grade.
Okay.
And she lost a bet.
Oh, okay.
And she had to wear saran wrap to school as an outfit.
Wait, colored, I hope.
It was pink. If I remember correctly, it was pink. And she did like a tube top and a skirt. And she got kicked out of school that day, but she did it. And it's funny because she just kind of popped up in my feed recently. Yeah. And she was talking to another friend, and the other friend was like, I still know you for wearing the saran wrap to school. And I was like, me too.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah. But I don't know why what you just said reminded me of that. But I wanted to share that with the world.
I'm grateful. But you know what's crazy though? This little saran wrap thing in my brain is coming back to style, because I went to this little music festival, and as I went there, this little pleather faux skirts and all these other they kind of give me that saran wrap-ish like look, because it doesn't look like leather. We know it's not, it's pleather, we get it, but it kind of has that little shine like that saran wrap. Reference to something in my brain that might be she started something.
Yeah. To be fair, she did have on a bra and underwear
Good stuff.
because we could see it.
Dang. If I try that. I've only had saran wrap on once, and that's when we what was that? It Works, I think is what it was, when you're trying to shrink your stomach and you put that, you had to put the saran.
Yeah, I did that too.
That's the only time I wore it.
Yep.
And it's totally still here. It worked in that moment. It's not working right now. It's not working. I
Yeah.
should try that now. That might help me now.
Yeah. I used to take the carb blockers before I had an education in nutrition and understood that carbs are like good for us.
Yeah, we need those, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Our brain kind of functions on the glucose that the carbs turn into in our body.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So I just want to do some workouts that's just gonna focus on my midsection. That's all I want. I finally got my adult weight and I like where I'm at. I just don't like my belly, and I'm not gonna go get surgery, but I'm too lazy to work out right now. So I just want something for my stomach, and that's it. And if I can do that, then I'd be happy. But
I've got something for your stomach.
Oh,
some stomach love.
It's something other than food?
It's just some self-stomach love.
Okay.
That'll help your problem.
Okay. Well, listen, talk to me then, sugar. We're gonna have a whole conversation.
You just look down at your stomach and you say, I love you. And then that's it.
I do love it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I definitely love it. And it's smiling at me too. So once I sit down, my definitely smiles at me. So we love you. I love you. You told me to do a self-love. I love you. There you go.
Is it helping? A little bit?
I mean, it helps me to love me. Yeah. But I still want it to go. I still want it to go away. I don't want to tuck it in anymore. I'm tired of tucking my stomach into my pants.
You want to breathe easier now? I feel that in my soul.
Here we go. I'm going to work out. The beginning of this year, I'm going to work out. I'm lying. I probably will start work next week because I don't like wait. I am not that New Year's resolution person that waits until the new year to actually start stuff. I like to actually start doing what I'm doing, bringing in the new year, doing my new thing. So I really do. I did buy a little sit-up machine. I have a little ab cruncher and then those resistance bands. So I definitely have them. I bought them. So I promised myself I was going to work out. I think my honest moment with you right now, my dilemma is I love my weight. I really, because I've always been the really skinny girl. I've been really, really skinny. So now I finally got my adult weight. My arm likes to twerk. So I finally got a weight that I like what it looks like. I just want to tone up my belly a little bit. That's all that it is. So my brain is fighting with my heart a little bit, I guess you could say, because I want to keep what I got, but I just know I want to tone it up a little bit. But the trainer that I had, he told me I had to lose weight and then make it into muscle. And I'm like, I don't want to, because I don't even want, it just scares me because losing weight, I'm going to get skinny and I don't want to be the skinny girl. Though. But so that's my battle right now. That's my honest moment. That's my battle.
Yeah. I'm a trainer who does not weigh my people.
Really?
Because weight is not a behavior. It's a number that fluctuates daily and minutely and secondly sometimes, depending on if we just had a sip of water or if we just took a poop. You know? And but what we can do is like build a little muscle and lose a little body fat and you can still be the same weight. So yeah.
I don't want to. My muscles get strong when I do this.
Oh, really? Are you?
See how strong it is? You don't see that flex right there? Oh, you see that muscle right there? You see it?
I do.
Do not encourage my foolishness, please, and thank you.
Oh.
I appreciate you, though. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, I want to respect your time. And I do have one more question for you
Awesome. Yeah.
that I ask everybody at the end of every episode.
Okay.
And that is, bum, bum, bum. If you had one piece of advice that you could give to the world, what would it be?
My piece of advice I'm going to give to the world is love yourself. Don't neglect how you're feeling. Love yourself and be authentically who you are destined to be, who you were created to be, who you were purposed to be. If you need help with doing that, I don't have a problem with helping you out with that. We can walk through that. But be authentically you. You will appreciate you later on.
Mic drop. Ladies and gentlemen, Tiffany Rochelle, the people's cheerleader, signing off. Until next time.